guys? It's Eagan and
Loxie
from Rain City, and today our mom will be showing you guys how to sew the Loxie Eagan shirt with thumbhole cuffs and a turtleneck option. And if you guys would like to purchase this, she will be linking the website down below. Now let's get sewing.
In this version of the Loxie Eagans, I'm going to sew the turtleneck and I'm going to sew the sleeve cuff option. So I have one turtleneck, two sleeve cuffs, two long sleeve cuff version long sleeve. So you'll see in the pattern that there's regular long sleeve and you'll see that there's sleeve cuff long sleeve. This was just a little bit shorter than the other one to accommodate for the cuff. And then I have a front and a back. So to begin, I'm going to sew my front and my back shirt together at the shoulder seam. So taking my back piece and laying it right side up, taking my front piece and laying it right side down so that their right sides are together. And I'm lining up the shoulder seams here, and I'm going to sew both of those shoulder seams with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. So next I'm going to sew my sleeve onto my shirt. Make sure that your seam here is pressed towards the back. And then just take your sleeve and fold it in half and find that center of the sleeve and mark it. I've marked mine with a pin. And then we're going to lay it right side together, right at that seam, and pin it in place. Now what we're going to do is take it to our machine and we're going to line it up right here and start sewing. And then we'll move the sleeve around to fit and keep sewing until we've hit our pin. Make sure that that shoulder seam is still towards the back. Remove your pin or clip and then keep sewing all the way till you get to the other side, and then repeat on the other sleeve. So here my sleeve is sewn on, and I went and I sewed the other one on, and we're just going to flip this entire assembly so that it is right side together, and we're going to sew our side seams. So line up those side seams and the sleeve. And now you're going to want to sew from the sleeve to the armpit all the way down, 1/4 inch seam allowance, and repeat it on both sides. With our side seams sewn, we're going to hem the bottom of the shirt. So just fold it up towards the wrong side, 1 inch, press it, and then sew as close to that raw edge as you can. With our shirt hemmed, now we're going to move on to our thumbhole cuffs. So move that out of the way. And what we want to do with these is we want to fold them so that they are right sides together. And then we're just going to transfer the do not sew between lines marking. So I'm going to lay my pattern piece on the top. And then I'm just going to put a pin where those lines are. And that's going to indicate to me that's where I'm not going to sew. So then I flip it over and I put it on this side. And I have cut into my pattern so I can actually see where those lines are. I'll put a pin there and a pin here. Now for the cuff, we're going to use a 1/2 inch seam allowance, and I'll sew and back stitch starting here and ending here, back stitching in both places. Also from here to here, again back stitching at the beginning and the end. It's very important that you do this, otherwise your cuff is going to open up. And then again right here, beginning here, ending here, and back stitching. So here it is sewn in the 3 spots, one here, and then one here. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to open that seam up and press it. So like this. And then you're going to turn this, line up these seams, and then turn it right side out. With it right side out, you're going to want to press it again, and then we're going to top stitch it. And you can use your machine, or if it's too small and you can't get in there, you're going to want to hand sew it. So you'll stitch from here all the way down an 1/8 inch away from the seam line, and then again on the other side all the way down. And that's going to keep your pieces from flying open like that. With our cuffs made, we're going to want to sew them to our sleeve. So this is the front of my sleeve, so my shirt is facing me, and I've marked where my thumb hole line needs to go. It's right here. So I have my cuff, this is the folded edge, this is the raw edge, and I'm just going to insert that sleeve right into my cuff. And I'm going to line up where that mark is with that seam. And now with it inserted like that, I just need to gently stretch my cuff to fit the sleeve. And I'm going to sew all the way around with a 1/4 inch seam allowance using a stretch stitch. So I have sewn on my cuffs, and I'm just going to pull those out, and they look great. And now we need to find the center line of the front and the back of the shirt, because we need to do our turtleneck. So just fold it in half, and then you're going to mark center line back and center line front, and now we just need to assemble our turtleneck. To sew the turtleneck, all we do is lay it right side up and then fold it over like that. My grain line goes this way. My stretch is this way. It's 4-way stretch, so it stretches both ways, but the grain line goes this way. And then we're going to sew all the way down this side right here using a 1/4 inch seam allowance. So with it sewn, we're going to turn it right side out. So fold it in half, lining up that seam, and then just turn it like this. Okay, so there we have, and here's our seam, and we're just going to mark 180 degrees out. So this will be where we line it up to the back of the shirt, and this mark we're going to make here will be where the front of the shirt will be. So just like that. So I'm going to put my raw edge up towards the front of my mat, and then put my seam laying on my mat and my new mark on the front. And then I'm going to take my shirt and lay it right side out with the front up, and I'm just going to insert it into my collar, or excuse me, my turtleneck. So it goes inside like this, and we're going to line up the back seam of the turtleneck with the back center line of the shirt and pin it in place. And we're going to do the same for the front of the shirt with our 180 degree out mark. So with it like that, we're going to sew the pieces together. So when you sew, you're going to use a 1/4 inch seam allowance. You're going to make sure that those back shoulders, the shoulder seams are pressed towards the back. And don't forget that that stitch you use either has to be a serge or a stretch stitch. Alright, so the turtleneck is sewn on, and other than a good press, we are done.
And 2 thumb cuffs. Thumbhole cuffs! Dang it, I was doing so good! Look what I made myself do.
Oh my god, look what you made yourself do. Oh my god, look what you made yourself do.
What's up, guys?